You're listening to Ciminelli Chats, State of the Company Edition, where we sit down with Paul Ciminelli, Kyle Ciminelli, and Jim Gottstein as they update us on the most recent company happenings. Hope you enjoy!
Thank you, Grace. I'd like to update everyone on what's transpired since the last time we spoke, which was in February at the State of the Company. So once again, I do feel a sense of pride and really proud of our company and how we're responding to these challenging times, just the same way we did when we were coming out of COVID. The real estate business, especially in the last, I would say 8 to 9 quarters for all real estate companies across the country, have been very challenging due to a lot of different factors, primarily because banks aren't lending right now, which means a lot of transactions are not happening because valuations are down. But like we've always done with this company successfully all throughout its history and how we've evolved to get to where we are today, we figure out a way to get through it and grow and prosper. As you know, we talked about the creation of the corporate stewardship program, and we created subcommittees last January to include issues on sustainability, wellness, veterans, advocacy, charities, and volunteerism. And we're in the midst of creating our second annual report. And then, as always, like I mentioned, we continue to invest in the company's future. One of the prime examples of that is our investment in Yardi, and that's a company-wide initiative being spearheaded by Zach Mielis and his team. And that's something that pretty much will impact all departments in all our offices. So it is a company-wide initiative, and it's being, I think, the team's responded very positively, and I'm really, really, really proud of how everyone's just come together and rallied to really try to get that initiative over the goal line. I mean, I always believed in the team we have and our approach to this business and how we've been able to, like I said, evolve and just to give you a little bit of history. I mean, when we decided to get in the third party business 20 some years ago, recognizing that we really needed to diversify how we do business. And since then, we've grown a lot. We have grown our third-party business, which really has kept us on the right track and given us the ability to, hire great people, diversify not only in our services but also geographically, with offices in Pittsburgh and Boston. And we just continue to invest, and we'll continue to invest in the future. And if you ask me when I bought the company, I would say a lot of the things that we're doing, yes. Some of the other positive things that we did that I kind of didn't anticipate, I didn't know, and Kyle will talk more about it, but the Newmark situation, that was something that I always wanted us to have, but I didn't know if we could get it. So that was huge. So that's just an example of, something that you worked hard for, you kind of anticipated, but now that it's a reality, it's really starting to pay off. So that's an example of something I probably really didn't anticipate. The other thing that I didn't anticipate is the getting into the residential side. I mean, we started doing on a third-party basis. I mean, we started on the development side with the projects like Bethune, Sinclair, and Mentholatum and West End, but I didn't anticipate us growing as much as we've done and been as successful as we have growing our residential property management footprint. So that's something that really, Grace, is something that I didn't anticipate.
Paul, aside from myself, talk me through some of the talent that we've boarded since our last State of the Company update.
Well, thank you, Grace. And yes, you've been a great hire, especially when you came out full time. Well, again, to reiterate that we continue to invest in the future, you can't get anything done in this business. It all starts with, and I learned this 30 years ago, that you need a strong operating platform to have sustainable success in this business. And the only way to do that is have a really good culture and hire really good people. I mean, it's really comes down to that. It's pretty basic. It's the old saying is it's basic to know what you want. It's a challenge to consistently execute it. And we've been able to do that and continue to hire really good people. And I think it's infectious. So if you create a culture where you hire the right people, you give them an environment for them to succeed, it gives you the ability to attract really good talent across the board. And let me just give you an example of some of the hires. I mean, we continue to expand our maintenance team. The new people that we've hired since the last time we spoke was Arlene Burris, Johnny Collin, Russell Crouch, Howard Curry, Dustin Janik, Nick Callback, Ryan Milligan, Gene Pecoraro, Jeff Pellicano, and Jonathan Swanson. Grace, you're a new hire in marketing. Again, welcome.
Thank you.
And in corporate services, our latest hire there is Katisha Sakona. Our most recent hire in IT is Cam Berkland, who, like a lot of people in this company, started off as an intern.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Paul. Now I'll hand it over to Jim Gottstein.
So thank you very much. My job here is to kind of talk about what's happening now. And as Paul mentioned earlier, Yardi has been all engrossing for the company, and we greatly appreciate everyone's effort. You know, system-wide, you put your day jobs aside and you hopped on these Yardi conversion committees and have done a fantastic job, and we're grateful and very appreciative. You know, as you all know, we've pushed that conversion deadline back to October 1st, and I think it was a wise choice. It is, you know, our goal is to have a seamless transition October 1st. we'd rather make sure that at conversion, our teammates, our vendors, and our customers are absolutely enjoying a great conversion, and we eliminate as best as possible any unforeseen circumstances that could arise from pushing the transition. So I think everyone's doing a fantastic job, and thank you very much. You all know who you are. We have a 10-year goal, a 10-year target to create $10 billion worth of value for our customers. And our customers can be, again, building owners, not necessarily Ciminelli, owned property, but our building owners, our tenants, and any customers we interact with, whether they be homeowners or apartment dwellers or whomever. And I'm happy to say, as of July 2nd, we are at $6.7 billion in value created towards our goal of $10 billion by 2020 or 2030. So I think we're on our way and doing a fine job. How did we get here? We certainly closed on the 203 Park Club Lane development. We closed and have tenants occupying our 716 Health. Those were massive buildings, very, very expensive, very complicated to do. And again, we thank everyone who participated in those great projects. On the drawing board still, or certainly in progress, we're looking to get our 201 Ellicott development completed, and that means getting to a second transition, so to a final closing, and that's we're hoping to handle this year. We're working on a transition from a development concept to actual construction for a $10 million project, and that's in process. And we're hoping to harvest some of the properties in our Boston market. And by harvesting, what do I mean by that? It means in Boston in particular, we buy buildings, we fix them up, and then we sell them at the opportune time. And we believe the opportune time for some of those assets will be in the second quarter of 2024. So those are all things that are in progress. We're diligently working to, again, hit our goal of $10 billion. And each one of these transactions will help us get there. You've talked about, Paul mentioned corporate services, and again, this is a company-wide initiative, headed by a committee for this purpose, and the purpose is to really, let the world know, let ourselves know what we do as a company for the environment, for social, for our own wellness. And I'm happy to report that the second annual report will come out sometime in mid fall, so in the next couple of months. And we continue to strive to push for, again, sustainability, benchmarking, wellness for ourselves and our community, and our outreach to important, I don't want to say important, but certainly deserving communities within our community where we can provide benefit and a positive impact. None of these achievements could be made. None of the work in Yardi, none of the work in the corporate services, none of the work in our initiatives can happen without the great people doing wonderful jobs, and we absolutely appreciate it. There's no question we are in an interesting time in real estate, as Paul mentioned earlier. We sustained unbelievable inflation that caused all of our costs to go up, not just you folks at home, but certainly in building materials. We have a banking environment now where lenders simply don't want to lend money. Fortunately for Ciminelli, we have 30 plus year history with many of our lenders, and even that history is strained given the economic times we live in and the interest rates we live in. But as Paul mentioned earlier, this company has always been able to ride through those difficult times and come out on the other side better for it. And I don't expect that this situation will be any different for this company. I think we hired great people, and I think they do a fantastic job. And I'm always excited for the future.
Thank you so much, Jim. I'm going to hand it over for some more updates to Kyle Ciminelli.
Thank you, Grace. And again, you're doing a fantastic job quarterbacking the three of us. I know it's not an easy task. And thanks to my father and to Jim for leaving me with a lot of the fun stuff that I have a lot of energy and focus towards, which is the business development, some of our wins, our pursuits, and so forth. Obviously, that updates that have occurred since our last meeting in February. So I'm going to start in the Central Business District of Buffalo, which really is where, as everyone knows, a lot of my passion is towards, and continue to improve our downtown environment. And I'm really proud of the way our team came together for an issue that we dealt with in our headquarters, and that was with our restaurant. As many of you know that work in the down in Fountain Plaza, around February, the restaurant abruptly closed without much notice, leaving their employees without a job and the Fountain Plaza community without a place really for breakfast, lunch, and happy hour. But like we did, we pivoted quickly as a company. We came together and we came up with a strategy with how we can get something opened as quickly as possible that can best serve our tenants, our employees, and the community. And what ended up happening with the help of Matt Caldiero, who had a lot of experience with his Tim Hortons days, Alex Eisenhower, Becky and Chuck, as well as the entire specialty crew, in really turning around a beautiful new restaurant called Prova. We reached out to a couple of our friends in the restaurant community who were happy to operate this restaurant for us. And with a few months after Flint closing, we had a new operation open with incredible improvements, new design, and the best thing about it is we were able to keep all of their employees. So everybody came back 2 months later to their same job. So I'm really, really proud of how the company came around and turned a problem into a fantastic solution for the community. Another really exciting project that we're working on for the city of Buffalo, as many of you may have read, there is a gentleman looking to bring a professional soccer team to Buffalo in the USL League. What the USL is the second highest professional soccer league, right behind the MSL. The MLS, excuse me. So they are looking to bring a franchise to Buffalo, and with that would come the development of a brand new stadium, around 10 to 15,000 seats. We have been hired by Peter Marlette in the USL to help them with the site selection for this stadium. It's going to end up being somewhere in the city, and we're just really proud to be behind this really transformational project for Buffalo. And Courtney from the development team has really done a fantastic job in quarterbacking that process. Another relationship that we continue to that continues to thrive for us is our relationship with 43 North. That's the incubator tech contest where they give away millions of dollars every year to tech startups, and we have become really their preferred provider for real estate services for these companies. If you recall, we represented Top Seeds, locating their manufacturing facility for them in downtown Buffalo last year, and most recently we represented last year's winner Cav for their production, retail, and office facility at 225 Louisiana, a new development known as the Barcelo Building. Cav is a really cool new age company that develops custom bike helmets, and they're new to the community. It was really a cool process in representing them and getting them set up in Buffalo. So we're really happy with that 43 North relationship, and it continues to be profitable for us. Onto a quick Newmark update. That relationship also continues to flourish. Probably our biggest leasing transaction that we've worked on with Newmark just closed last month in the city of Rochester, believe it or not. So we represented Nixon Peabody, a large national firm, and actually relocating them out of the city of Rochester to the suburbs. They've been located in downtown Rochester for over 20 years. So this was really a big move for them, and they put a lot of thought into this, and it was really a time-consuming process for our brokerage group. We worked in collaboration with this with the Newmark folks out of Boston that actually control the entire Nixon Peabody portfolio, and ultimately represent them in a 50,000-foot office lease transaction, relocating down to Victory, New York, in a beautiful new suburban office development. So really a great transaction to be able to work with Newmark on behalf of Nixon Peabody. We're also doing some great things with Newmark in servicing Catholic Health, utilizing Newmark's consulting group, capital markets group, in collaboration with our brokerage and property management teams. So the Newmark relationship is, again, helping us continue to service some of our longtime clients. And I'm happy to give some really positive updates of things that are going on in our portfolio. I'd say last quarter, we've probably had more activity than the prior year in total. And that includes both Village Park, Center Point, Fountain Plaza, really all around. So we're really happy that we've got a lot of leases out throughout these properties, and hopefully by our next update, we'll be able to report on some closed deals. But really promising that we've been able to get an uptick in activity throughout the portfolio. Speaking of the portfolio, I believe everyone is aware of what happened with Lumps and McCormick over in the Cyclorama building, and how the company came together and really handled that situation in the fire. Incredible. Getting them secured space in Fountain Plaza, really allowing them not to ever really interrupt their operation. But furthermore, what's happened over the last month is we were able to secure a long-term lease with Lumps and McCormick in what will be a renovated building over at Cyclorama, really creating more value for our company and our investors. So congrats to Jim Gottstein and Zach Mielis and the entire team for really putting that transaction together. That was obviously a dicey situation, and like we continue to do here at Ciminelli, we turned a tough situation into a long-term win, and I'm really proud of the team for that one. Quick update on Boston. Obviously with what's been communicated by both my father and Jim with the capital markets, it's been a really difficult time to either buy or sell anything in Boston. But with that being said, we have done an incredible job over the last year or so in stabilizing our assets. Our R&D assets, which is probably 75% of our portfolio in Boston, is over 92% occupied. So we've done an incredible job leasing these buildings over the last year. And actually our 2 office buildings are now stabilized and outperforming the rest of the office market in that market as well. So really proud of Chris Nealon, Ryan Zebro, and the team over in Boston, and really utilizing the last year of tough economic conditions to fill those buildings. So I'm going to pivot over to residential on some of updates in our property management and sale and condo sales over there. We continue to have strong demand in our Bethune condo sales. We've sold over 55 units now and have another 16 under contract, which would bring a total of 71 of the 87 units in the building that we will have sold in the near future. So Alex Eisenhower and the 716 team continues to do an incredible job there. With this new number, we were able to form the condo association and transfer control of the condominium to the newly elected board of managers on May 1st. So big step for that project, and we paid off the building's loan due to the successful sales activity. So again, great job to that team, and we're actually looking at our next condo conversion and starting that process with the Sinclair building downtown. And we have a really positive outlook for how that condo conversion will go as well. Continuing along the residential front, we'll continue to have a lot of huge wins for the residential team, including Hidden Ridge Commons, Mission Hills Condominium, the Cazenovia Commons HOA, the Forest Condo. We renewed the Parkway condominiums, which we began with in 2019, and we also renewed the Harbor Point Village, which we've had since 2021. So Noel, Artie, and the team, great job continuing to bring in and keep some new business within our residential PM arm. Transitioning from residential to commercial, last but certainly not least, and we really want to highlight Pittsburgh for a second here. Al Corona, as many of you know, has transitioned to a new capacity and be partially retired. Thankfully, still staying with us on a part-time capacity. But Matt Jones has been named regional director, so congrats to Matt, and congrats to onboarding our first high-rise in the CBD of Pittsburgh at 564 Forbes. Really a prominent assignment in the heart of Pittsburgh, and I'm proud of the Pittsburgh team for bringing that one in. Another big win for the commercial PM team, Spectrum Health, is a new client for property management with several locations throughout the state. And as we always love, this is a client that could bring different revenue streams in through different parts of the company as well. And we're having consistent meetings with our brokerage and development team with how we can help them with those service lines as well. And then, we always love to mine existing clients for some different types of business. And I think last time we reported about securing Five Star Bank for a long-term PM contract. And we've now been brought in to help them with their bank equipment business. So congrats to Chris and the team for taking that 5-star account and making more out of it. And then some more opportunistic stuff going on with Jeff Shudd and O'Bannon and the team. They've continued to look at the distressed property market as we respond to a market, and we've respond to those opportunities, and we've brought in Clinton Crossing in Rochester. So congrats to Jeff and Jeff. Another good win for the PM team. And I do just want to highlight as I sort of end here, obviously we have a lot of people out there in business development selling in different capacities. And, one goal that we've had as a company over the last few months is few quarters actually, is to try and bring all of those efforts together and make sure that we're all marching to the same tune, that we all are utilizing our contacts to help each other out within the business development front. So on a monthly basis, everybody within residential, commercial, PM that is focused on business development, the brokerage team, Courtney from the development team, the marketing team, we all get together and we talk about some of our pursuits, what's working, what may not be working. We take ideas from each other that may work for different service lines. We talk about opportunities to cross-sell, which is huge within our group. So it's really brought the business development teams together in a more collaborative way. And I think what you're seeing here is a lot of results from that, and a lot of results for some collaborative efforts going after business that really can benefit all aspects of the company. So I'm really proud in the direction of that initiative has gone. We want to thank everyone for your time, and hopefully we'll see you at some of the fun upcoming company events that we have over the next few months.
Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed. Please stay on the lookout for our next Ciminelli Chats guest coming very soon.